unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego Unpacked. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Wow, Canelo Alvarez and Oscar De La Hoya reportedly not on speaking terms. Have to do business through a lawyer. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash app, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. They got great series, original series like 30 for 30, some docu-series, some original programming. They got Top Rank Boxing. You got UFC and UFC pay-per-view. And now you can use my link and set up the bundle from Disney where you get Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu, $12.99 a month for all three bundled together. I have all three. I watch all three. You know, I don't use Hulu that much, but you know, my mom, I put her on the account, so she watches it. But definitely Disney Plus, they got a lot of like the Avengers and Iron Mans and, you know, all the like Marvel stuff. I never got into the, you know, I never started watching The Mandalorian, but they have one with Thor, his brother Loki, original series, and one for War Machine. So I'm probably going to check those series out, but bundle it together helps the channel. Appreciate you guys. ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu. Let's get it. Now, Mike Coppinger is a reporter for The Athletic, and he has spoken with some sources who revealed some information, and I'm going to read the tweet. It says, sources, Oscar De La Hoya recently claimed he has a, quote, working relationship with Canelo that is amazing, and that he plans to meet with Alvarez's camp in Mexico to discuss his options for a May fight. In fact, Canelo still isn't on speaking terms with Oscar De La Hoya. They communicate strictly through lawyers. Wow. So, once again, Mike Coppinger's information is directly, basically refuting what De La Hoya said. De La Hoya, this is a quote where he says, oh, my working relationship with Canelo is amazing. But whatever source he has, who I'm assuming is somewhat connected or close to the situation, they're saying they don't even talk. Right? They don't talk. They have to have a mediator, basically. That's bad. You know, that's almost like when a guy's baby mom and you guys can't agree on custody, and then the court has to get involved. That's, you know, it's the same situation. And Mike Coppinger also put out an additional tweet, and he says there are no plans for a face-to-face meeting between Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo Alvarez, per sources, and the Mexican star will be the one who decides whom he'll fight next. The De La Hoya interview being referenced was with Fight Hub, and then he, you know, added attribution. Wow. Things getting a little bit chippy. If, you know, that's crazy. That's crazy that whatever, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened. What has angered or triggered Canelo so much where he doesn't speak with his promoter, but the DAZN curse strikes again. You know, that's not a good look, because Canelo's in the gym training with Ryan Garcia, and you notice Canelo had problems at the end of last year. You know, he was mad because the Kovalev fight fell apart, and, you know, maybe he didn't like how it was negotiated on his behalf. He had already became the franchise champion with Charlo, so that was a bad look before that. Then he tried to get Kovalev, you know, as his dance partner the first time, and they wouldn't offer him the money he wanted. So Kovalev ended up fighting Anthony Yarde and looking vulnerable and almost getting stopped. And then, after Kovalev looked vulnerable and almost got stopped, then they went to the table and somehow gave the deal that Kovalev would want. So it would have been better if Canelo went straight into the Kovalev fight, because he would have been off of the performance regaining his title versus Alito Alvarez, versus beating Anthony Yarde by stoppage, but also having to work for it in the sense of he was almost out of there. His own coach, Buddy McGirt, who had a fight or die in the ring before, he said, if you give me another round like that, it's over. I'm throwing in the towel. So I think Canelo's mad at that. After that, he briefly negotiated with Deryevchenko, and then, deals and stuff were discussed, and he said his matchmaker made a deal with the IBF to surrender the belt by a certain date if they haven't agreed, and the Deryevchenko, they didn't have an agreement by the proper date. So, it's just been going downhill. I also felt the Canelo-Kovalev fight was, it was just a disaster. Fight didn't live up to expectations. Canelo definitely wasn't his sharpest performance. Didn't really think he looked at his best at 175 or in that particular fight. Definitely struggled with the taller, rangy guy who didn't seem to be himself, wasn't throwing with any type of punching power or conviction that the world has known Kovalev for. And then it just looked FAF to me. That's my personal opinion. And, Kovalev had like a loose jab with no real umph. He didn't put no mustard on the shots, but it still looked like he was giving Canelo issue. And it looked like he was on, not fully invested in the fight. And we were hearing the problems about Canelo and Ryan Garcia back then, having problems with De La Hoya. Ryan Garcia has since, mended that. De La Hoya went to his media day, and they offered him more money, so him and his family, I guess, were content. But it looks like Canelo's not. Canelo's still upset. Canelo's still, not feeling De La Hoya for some reason, according to sources. And, you could say, oh, the report, who are his sources? Maybe the reporter got bad information. True, it's possible. But, I mean, to be honest, the reason why it sounds believable is because look at the outburst Canelo had. Ryan Garcia was going in on Golden Boy and Canelo was retweeting it. The world is not going to forget those things that just recently happened, right? If you look at Canelo-Kovalev fight, you never really seen Canelo smiling next to De La Hoya. You never really seen them interact or talk. That's how I act with my exes, well, not me, but that's how some of them act. Like you see them at Target or something, and they're in a new relationship. You see an ex or something. That's how people act, and you just act like you don't know them or something. That's how Canelo and De La Hoya were kind of acting to me. So, the DAZN curse strikes again. Canelo has been very loyal to Golden Boy, but he's loyal to the Reynosos as well. But for whatever reason, something has bothered him. And it's sad to see what's happening with Canelo's career, because I really like Canelo. I think he's an awesome fighter, very skilled, but he's almost sold his soul for DAZN. Like he took the money route and he's well paid, but everything else career-wise, he's being met with resistance. Fans are like, oh, you cherry picking, in terms of image and popularity, those things. It's like he traded him for money almost. You know what I mean? Like he's getting crazy money so he could be happy with that. Him and his family are set for life. But career-wise, we've never seen him in his weigh-in look like it did. We've never seen, look, he's buying yachts and stuff. We never seen people so disinterested in what Canelo was doing. It's just weird how they're handling him. Talking about Canelo fighting in Japan against Ryota Murata, fighting 2 UK fighters in Vegas or the UK. Both of them, Caleb Smith and John Ryder, are coming off of bad performances, not losses, but bad performances. Caleb Smith really should have lost to John Ryder. Billy Joe Saunders, he fought an unknown name and was looking horrible, and then he finally stopped him in the 11th round. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if Canelo, maybe he has a game plan and there's some kind of wild card person that he's attempting to fight. But I just made a video literally like a day ago, and I was posing the question, hey, what's taking so long for Canelo's announcement? Like, usually you would want to see like Wilder Fury, that was announced promptly, and Canelo, he's the big star. People have to get ready for his events in the past, so you typically seen those announcements and those deals reached with a couple months, you know, to kind of anticipate and do some shoulder programming. But DAZN hasn't really been doing any of that. Like, when the undercards have been very light, horrible, commentary's horrible, you know, you're really going for the main event, and they're putting a lot of fights on that are last minute, like announced to the public last minute. I just think that's a bad look as well. You know, Canelo wants to fight in May, and it's February. These months are going to go by quick. They're going to go by real quick, and this is probably why I posed the question of what's taking so long with the announcements. But if they're speaking through a lawyer and not on speaking terms, I'm sure that delays the process, because now you have you know, a middleman or intermediary people involved to, like, hey, tell Oscar I said this, as opposed to you telling Oscar this. You know, they're like, it's like kids or something, like they're angry with each other. So, you know, if they're not on speaking terms, that's probably going to slow up the communication process. So I don't know what the beef is. Canelo's not, you know, he's very professional, so I don't really look for him to like expose no one. But for whatever reason, it don't look like he messing with De La Hoya, and I never seen this. And then people are telling Charlo and Wilder to sign to DAZN, but we haven't seen stuff like what DAZN is doing, and not in a good way. You know, there's discord between the promoter and the fighter. I don't know, but maybe Canelo will start being more vocal and saying something. I don't know, but let's see who he decides to fight. And you know, the clock's ticking. May is right around the corner, and I also want to see if he gives up that Mexican date. If he wanted to fight the weekend of Cinco de Mayo, so if he fights any other day, then that goes to show you his star power is dwindling, because he doesn't have a fight that can justify that date. Or if you know, Tank and Leo Santa Cruz take that date or something like that, then that moves him off the date. I mean, this could be a changing of the guard. Like I said, I'm not going to speculate too much more than that. We will see. I can't wait to see some of these fights get announced for the summer and spring. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We working. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego Unpacked. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack.